Yo, what's up, Retrothon? We've got Uniracers. I'm MrCab. I hope I'm not too echoey here from the void of the stream room here. All right, I guess it's a little framey over there. But either way, we'll let them sort that out. Oh man, I can't hear you, dude. Sounds fine. All right, so let's get this going then. Let's get this going. Let me just double check with the tech crew, and we are going to play through actually all the courses in this game. There's, what do we got? 45 of them. I'm gonna go through on the gold difficulty because why not? Griller, oh my goodness. Oh, it's guitar riff. Alright, I'm told we're good to go, so I'm going to get it rolling. So you have to forgive me for having lost a bunch of save files. Andrew is blue by default, so here we are. This is a cleared save file, so we actually have access to all the courses. If you've played this game before, you know exactly why I've done that. Otherwise, you have to clear a bunch of things a bunch of times. So we're going to get this started. As I reset my own timer here, which is on 061 for some reason. We're going to start time in 3, 2, 1, and go. So welcome to Uniracers, the game with living unicycles that just like to race and do stunts all day. That's literally all this game is, and it's amazingly fun all the same. You have a few tricks at your disposal. You can jump, you can twist, you can roll. You can do flips, but you can't usually do those on flat straightaways. This is naturally the sort of tutorial course to tell you how this game works in the first place. Looks easy enough, right? It gets a little more complicated as we go, trust me. Basic premise, do tricks, go fast. And, oh wow, we got the 07. I think that ties the course record on this. I mean, it's a flat straightaway, so getting course record on that is not really exciting. And now things get a little more interesting because we start actually seeing different colors of tracks. The different colors actually are meaningful in this game. Red, you generally don't want to jump if you see red. Don't jump, it's bad. You're going to jump into a hill if you jump on red, and that's just not what you want to do in this game. Quite simply, every time you wipe out, you lose your speed boosts. And that's bad. Here, let's show the little wipeout sound. Oh, we didn't even get that. Whatever, we're good. It's actually not a good idea to fall too far behind Goldwyn. The rubber banding in this game is a little insane, and the game really wants you to just keep doing tricks. You'll hear the wipeout sound before this. There it goes. There it goes. I told you you'd see a wipeout. I didn't lie. Wiping out is slow, though, and we don't really want to see it too much. Naturally, there are a few spots where, yes, jumping on red is a good idea anyway. We'll talk about stunts, actually, in a moment here. So every cup, as it would be, has five things you got to clear in it. 2 of them are straight races, 2 of them are lap courses like this one, and the other one, though, is a little bit of a stunt thing. Of course, the higher the difficulty, the better the computer goes and the more points you got to get here. This is just a little stunt course. This is like a 45-second auto-scroller on some level, but you do have to know what you're doing with stunts to at least get this going. So you're seeing a lot of triples here because, well, that's all I can get out of jumps. Generally, if you do 4 of a thing here, it's a good idea, but every time you do something, you get half as many points the next time you do it. But that still sticks with like the multipliers. So you can just kind of... Okay, good, we did it. There's only one of these that should be a real problem. Joe and Mac. Oh my goodness. The way we've done it so far, yeah, you've got to beat the Gold Racer for every course account. I will say the Uniracers community is not exactly the biggest thing. It's a bunch of us that just kind of started playing the game, and it was fun. There are a few pieces of tech, but in general, it's just straight ahead beat the game. So this course is actually here to kind of teach the player that gold and blue track is good. Shouts to Sweden. But if you're on gold and blue, you can generally just start doing tricks to your heart's content and go. It's usually fast. If you see solid yellow, though, and you should see it here in a little bit, that's your cue to jump for a shortcut. It's not always true, but it's usually true. And we're stuck on the bottom part of this course now. It's not a huge deal. Orange, of course, if you haven't figured it out yet, means there's a slime puddle. It slows you down for a little bit. Oh well. And that is this course, pretty much. It's gonna get harder from here, trust me. But the game does have a good difficulty curve. Like, it eases you into the game's nonsense. I think the next track is technically the first one that has the metal spinny things. But I said there was a little bit of tech. There are actually 3 tracks in this game that have this problem. This is one of those many racing games where what the computer is really looking for is, did you hit these little checkpoints? So I'm going to go the wrong way. It's going to be fun. You do have to make sure you actually touch the starting gate. That's the one thing. Whoop! You got to jump over the arrows. And as soon as we hit that little checkpoint gate there, see that minus 3.3? That means gold one hit that checkpoint gate as well. That's how you know how far you're ahead most of the time. But that's also what the game's actually using internally to say, is the player actually completing the course properly? And it turns out it's much faster to get to the second gate by going backwards. There's only 2 other courses in the game where this is a viable strategy, at least that we've noticed. This is just one of them. The other 2 are actually much later in the game, but they're on 2 ridiculous courses, so it's a good thing. Come on. Alright. There we go. Just jump those arrows. Obviously the arrows are there to push you. Sometimes they push you fast enough for what you want to do. Most of the time they're just annoying. And one other thing, if you beat the bronze unicycle or the silver unicycle, which you have to clear on each cup to be able to challenge the gold one, you just get like a little medal ceremony. For whatever reason, when they made this game, they decided if you beat Goldwyn, something strange happens. Ow. Alright, so that's Crawler. Let's move on to Shuffler. A little bit of the lore with this game. Apparently, I think that what worked out was that the company that made this game got sued or something because somebody claimed to own the concept of unicycles that could act on their own. Despite that, it's actually not that expensive to find a copy of it. If you can find a copy, I recommend this game. You're not going to be obsessed with this like some other games, certainly, but it is just fun. It's surprisingly fun for what it is. Everyone I've introduced to this game has loved it. And there is multiplayer with it. I see some chat about games back then lacked online multiplayer. Oh, I've missed the loop skip there. Ugh. 2-player in this game is fun. You can actually set up like a little league inside the game itself. They actually built that in for some reason. I don't think I ever really got a chance to use that feature of this game, but it is there. You can check standings and everything. It's good times. Holding the brake button, which I think is Y at the start of every race to do that. Just a little thing. There's the metal spinny thing. You can't jump onto that. If you're jumping onto that, bad things happen. This is the mega jump. Don't ask me what you're supposed to do on the mega jump. I just do tricks and hope that I go faster. That's basically all the tech we have for this game. Just keep doing tricks. and stay ahead. Oh! Goldwyn is very annoying. Can't ditch this guy. Can't ditch this cycle? Whatever. Thrashing! So the thing to look out for, every time there's a bunch of tricks that get done in one jump, there will be like a random other kind of thing there. Sometimes it says thrashing. I look out for the one that says I hate racing. It'll show up eventually, I hope. Airhead. What does that even mean? At least for this game, anyway. I've heard the phrase airhead before. Yeah, there's some rubber banding AI. I think that's actually why some of the courses where you go backwards actually work so well. Because despite the fact that computer sees you completing the course, do the flip unicycle. Whatever controls the rubber banding AI like doesn't. So you're kind of stuck like it is way behind by the time you're done. 1, 2, 3. That's what we want to see. Can I get third one? No. I'm actually tempted to restart this like early. I have a bad feeling about this. When you're doing these little tricks, you want to work in like little twists where you can, just to make sure you're getting as many points. Although you do want to end the timer on the ground when you can, so you don't have that like 2-second delay while it adds on the last few points. You can go from losing to winning, and it will count. I am playing on a CRT. What is this? It's Sony something. There's an Energy Star logo on it. I see that. Got the composite inputs going, though I believe this TV has S-Video available. S-Video is one of those things I need to actually work out one day. So I'm looking on this track for this. If you hold brake and left, you can kind of time a jump to do it too, but when there's a little lip there before you go into the loop, you can basically brake, not go through the loop, just fall through it. Saves about 1 second every time it happens. That comes in handy a lot, actually, in the it's one of the last courses in the game. You can do that and get real ahead of the anti-uni, which we'll get to later. So again, you're looking for this gold floor. You want to see the gold floor and just go. Yeah. Ooh, nice. Someone remind me later to cut the flat fun piece of this to post on the individual track leaderboards. Our leaderboards are on speedrun.com. What categories we got? 6 bronze medals, 8 silver medals, and then all courses pretty much. Oh, there's 9 golds as well. Basically, in this game, you start with only 4 courses available. You have to actually unlock things. I'm sure there's codes online. I've never looked for a long time. But you can only get to 6 bronze medals before you have to start getting silver, so it's kind of like the base category everybody does. This is infinity, by the way. If you haven't noticed it yet, this track basically is an infinity symbol. That's why there's 7 laps. This wins the prize for most laps. Of course, it's also the shortest lap. This whole course is just a question of, do you know that you can hold L and R to kind of spin the unicycle coming out of the half loops? And this is the Turtle Yoshi. Don't get too excited. It's sparkling water. Moving on. Yeah, if you want to play this game, just jump in. I forget how we even got started on this. The further we go in this game, the more I'm actually going to be distracted by having to concentrate on the track to make sure I don't do something silly like land in slime like that. Ah! I think there is something about just staying on the hill going down instead of just jumping. Of course, if you jump off, you can do more stunts and do lots of other stuff. But I feel like if you're on the track, it actually makes you go a little bit faster, just a little bit faster. I've actually never attempted to ride a unicycle myself either. At this point, I feel like that's a bit of a crime because I keep playing this game. But I think, like, wasn't it the Bizarro Jerry Seinfeld that had the unicycle? Alright, can I get the jump here? No. This is one, if you time the jump right, you can actually skip that loop. But you have to, like, jump all of the arrows to do it. Red arrows are good because you go a little bit faster than the blue arrows. Gold arrows appear in exactly one track. I didn't make it through. You don't want to go too fast when you hit these up ramps either. It's a little bit of a interesting challenge because the further up you jump after it, because the faster you're going, the more tricks you can do in the air, but you're also in the air, you're going straight up, doing nothing else for longer. Not exactly what you want to do. Can we get this? Retrothon! No, it didn't work. It's a really tight jump to get that, but if you get it, you're saving a second. Hey! This game does have good music. My only problem is it has, like, what? You'll have to count the tracks for me. It's probably like 4 or 5 tracks. Okay, headbands. And they're not tied to the individual courses either. If you haven't noticed yet, the stunt courses are all slightly different, but the end goal is the same still. 2, 3, 4. Intense. I don't know why it says jamming. 2, 3. Flips, for whatever reason, are worth twice as much as rolls. And in fact, they're worth twice as much as anything else. So when you have like a course that demands you get way too many points, you should kind of keep an eye out on flips and do an extra set. The stunt track after this is the only one that I basically have to think about what I'm doing because it demands 400 points. And you can see here I only got to 336. Granted, I stopped. Next one is good though. The Tyranno Lair in Chrono Triggers. Chrono Trigger is just full of good music in general. It's an excellent game and everybody should play it. Whoa! What track am I on? The good news about this game is once you've played it enough, even if you forget where you are exactly, just the course generally does not lie. So if you just kind of follow directions, you'll be okay. There's a couple of weird things later on in the game where spinny things go into other spinny things and they switch which direction you pop out and you don't know which way you're going to go. That's the only part where things get weird. This course is named Shortcut. It's kind of weird. So I think we have a shoot straight up moment here, or is this a half loop? This is a half loop. Look at Goldwyn rubber banding there. Come on. Oh no! I think that's the shortcut? There's another shortcut higher up that's actually better. But there's a couple of instances in this game where you might want to take a low path like that. The easiest way to like kill all your speed is just like flip right into the mound. Because otherwise you do this. Made it. That might be the real shortcut. It saves a bunch of time because you get caught on arrows that force you to go left. And that's not what you want to do. I can't make Who Wants to Go Left in a video game jokes when I'm actually going left because the course has laps. That's the only problem. So besides not wanting to flip into the ground, you want to make sure you're done twisting by the time you hit the ground, or you get like the skid sound. It's bad. You don't want to do it. It kills a lot of speed. All your twists generally get canceled at that point. Oh, there's the question in chat. Is doing twists better than doing rolls? I've not actually measured. I think the the TAS actually does both. It is possible to do a roll and a twist in one jump. It's just also kind of annoying. The computer likes to do a lot of rolls. I've always done twists since I got this game. You just have to hold A. There was a time way back when I used the ASCII-Pad Turbo controller. We're talking like 90s for this. And I put A on Turbo, I think, a lot for this game, which is the twist button. I don't think it really saved me any time, but I kept doing it. I don't have it anymore, obviously, but hey. Oh, this jump. So if you hold jump in your jump when you go straight up, you can kind of direct yourself left or right. Come on. Come on. Okay, that was scary. I have to go find my manual for this game now and see this pizza page you're talking about, because I love pizza. It feels wrong for me to know so much about this game and not know that little fact. Whoa, right into this wall, because this course is weird. So again, generally when you get slammed into a wall or a vertical jump like that, you want to kill your speed beforehand. Now remembering that we're on this course, so we'll be okay. Getting too distracted by Retrothon chat. What's up with that? Got so many viewers. I love this. Somewhere in here I'm obligated to say thank you, RGL, for putting on this fine event. Oh no, we didn't get a high jump. Whatever shall we do? Thank you, Retrothon, for putting on such a fun event. Retro Gaming Live TV. There are words here. We'll say more of them when I'm actually not trying to make the unicycle go fast. Come on. These laps. Oh, Goldwyn caught onto it. I've never seen that. Or at least I've rarely seen that. I feel like I've seen the computer try everything by now. A little bit there. You can see like just a little bit of speed boost that comes out of every individual trick. It is Cab, MrCab55, MrCab55. There's a MrCab account without a 55 that I think is an early one I created and then forgot the password to in like 2010. This is the hard one, so excuse me while I try and take care of business here. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, throw in some twists. That's worth twice as much, so do it again, because now it's worth half as much. So now that's worth as much as doing forward rolls. Forward is roll, backwards is flip, X is the Z flip. Throw in some twists just for extra points. Make sure I get a couple of just twister cities in here as well. Do a flip in there, just throw in the extra points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do these again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh boy, we might not actually have this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah! 4 points short. That's the one that's the most annoying. Where did I go wrong? I didn't have a triple Z flip in there. No, we're gonna try this again. I forgot. You gotta do the head bounce at first. People wonder what a head bounce is. If you're standing still, you jump and push and hold X. And this happens. It's actually worth a bunch of points just to start out. Make sure you get that. Alright, let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get some twists in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are forward rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4. More twists. 1, 2, 3, 4 pushes of the X button. 1, 2, 3 for that. Make sure I get actually a twister city in as well. Get a double flip. That'll do something. 2, 3 rolls. 2, 3, 4 on the Z's. That ought to do it. There we go. Sorry about that. We had to do this one twice. That's actually probably the hardest thing in the game. Like, once you know how the track works. As far as stunts go, that's easily the hardest. Despite the fact you have ramps. This is east. As we all know in video games, east means right. So if I do this course right, I will never go left. If I do this course wrong, I will temporarily go left. At that point, I start asking questions about north and south, though. And then I start thinking about this game too much. We are definitely starting to get into the point in the game where courses have gimmicks, though. Wario Paint, which first of all has a funny name. Oh! Has that straight vertical jump for the first time. Alright, come on. Let's beat Goldwyn and finish the cup. And we got another one after this, I guess. Hairpin Hill is after this, I think. Come on, get ahead of Goldwyn. Cut the minute. Cut the minute. Hey. Don't get me started on ordinals. It is Hairpin Hill. I remember some things about this game. This one's weird because it's just a lot of goo pits and metal spins. Oh, did we? Okay, no, that's just that going out. I've got the actual stream in the corner of my eye here, so when it goes black, it's like, wait, what just happened? This one, I think, is one of the most common ones to lose, despite the fact that you did the same thing you always do every single time. I'm not sure why. This definitely falls into the category of I just have fun playing this game more than I've done a lot of research into it. Although we did find the shortcuts. Monster, which is the first one you go backwards in, I think we found that in a TAS YouTube video at some point. It's great sometimes you just like start looking for TASes of games you enjoyed because there's not really a big speedrun community for it, and you just learn all these random things about the game. Come on. See, there's Goldwyn like coming out of nowhere around the last turn. What's going on? Yeah, every time you jump onto one of the metal ones, you get shot back to the beginning of it. That was just mean. Also, when did I learn to breathe fire? So don't jump onto the metal spin things. It's bad. Now we start getting into the courses that start the game locked. You need to get all 4 bronze medals before you can actually play this one. Whoa! I'm gonna cheat the game there and do a little trick on red. I guess it's not really cheating, it's just not following directions. Whoa. I'm going this way still. There's so many points in this game where the track is red and all it does is send you off a cliff and you immediately just go the other direction. You get used to it sometimes. Whoa. Hey! It's a unicycle dragon, which is the most terrifying thing I've ever heard of. Twin Peak is just Mega Jump times 2, and it's another race that you tend to lose for no reason. I'm sure there's some logic to how the tricks and stunts actually make your unicycle go faster, and I don't know it well enough. So we're just gonna do flips and treat this like a stunt course. Maybe we'll do some of the forward rolls too. I guess we had a lot more time than I thought I did in there. See, there's Goldwyn. Ah, I'm supposed to bounce cleanly out of that. Wipeout behind me. That's good. The Twin Peaks of Wobbler. 1, 2, 3. I'm just too used to like trying to eke out one more twist in this, and bad things happen as a result. Oh, I got a Z flip in there. Or game's cheating me. Sorry, like I said, the further we get into this game, the less I'm able to like actually try and turn and read chat without making myself a little bit worried. Typical video game, right? The further you get into it, the higher the difficulty actually manages to get. So there's Goldwyn coming out of nowhere, deciding I'm winning this race. It might be over. Hey, it is over. But in the good way. Why isn't anyone riding the unicycle? I mean, I wouldn't be mad if a unicycle got up and just started flipping through the air. It'd be kind of neat, actually. I'm actually going to get up here and make sure I get these head bounces in. 3 head bounces is 56. I'm still kind of debating sometimes in my head if I wanted to go for 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3. It's cool because getting 3 flips is as good as getting 4 anything else. Let's get some twists in here. 2. This is a lot like the previous one. It's just not quite as ridiculous. You can see, like, down to, like, 1 point for some of these other things. I didn't want to go up this ramp because now... Okay, good. We're still on the ground, at least. Thanks, Ghost. Thanks, Sonic. There's a lot of the cab fleet here hanging out. And shoutouts to everybody who showed up. Shoutouts to everybody who's just here. As we make unicycles go fast. This game was actually like a summer vacation game for the most part. We would actually take the TV outside and sit it down next to the barbecue and just play this game. So there is nostalgia. I think there's a lot of nostalgia out there in chat for this game too. Here's this course's gimmick. It does this again, where like you go up a ramp and all you do is kind of take a little spinny thing to take another like turn back. I don't know what to call these things half the time. Actually a really short course for some reason. Of course, there's a hill there in the gold for some reason. So if you're just jumping along, whoops. The small cut. This is another one of those courses where there's a hill and you don't want to end up on the top path of this. It's not that bad here, at least. The biggest thing that goes wrong is you hit that that ramp going up and you're going down and you just get slowed down. It's a thing. Whoop! There we go. Hit the downslope, and we go. Just gotta do that 3 more times and we're good. And get out of the rabbit course, go to the kangaroo course. See, there are questions in chat and I desperately want to read them. Nothing bad really happens if you lose against the other unicycle. You just have to do it again. The objective is still to actually clear each course by actually winning the race, as opposed to just kind of not worrying about winning and going through things. You need to actually claim that gold medal. It's just that if you did, like, from scratch all the gold medals, you'd be here for like 3 hours and doing every course 3 times, and nobody wants to see that. I can't explain this. Moving on. This is another one of the courses that has a really early shortcut. Even the computer's taking this one. This is a course where you very often kind of come out of it and just like, you're not sure how the gold unicycle got so far ahead of you. You're just like, what happened? I did everything right and I'm behind by like 5 seconds. There's one where the spinny thing spits you out the other side. I still don't know how to actually tell it's coming other than to know the course. This course is one of the earlier, like, actually tricky courses to actually figure out. But once you figure it out, it's not that bad. Don't jump to start the marathon. That's the one thing I remember about seeing that name. Because you end up in all these little, like, shallow bowl platforms. Don't jump at the start of it. Just don't jump. Okay, let's go. There's actually not that much room in this course to do a lot of tricks. You just gotta have some tight execution and don't like that little tire skid noise was me doing a twist as I landed, and you just saw my entire lead of like 0.2 of a second disappeared. Ugh. This is a tight one. Come on, Andrew the Blue Unicycle, if that is your real name. Because now I gotta come up with like an entire sequence of names that will make sense as a sentence. But Andrew needs to be the second word in it. Not even 0.2 of a second. So for some reason they decided the first stunt course needed a second go. And this is like, I don't know why this is here. I apologize for this stunt course. So we got 15 seconds to kill. Riding a unicycle like this would actually be hilarious. There we go. It's for the fans. Almost jumped straight into the goo to start the race. What's going on? Oh, somehow dodged that. I don't know what's happening anymore. I've lost all control of my life and turned into the unicycle. Oh. Okay, let's start this one again. That was a bad one to miss. Would the sheer G-forces of riding a unicycle that was like spinning and twisting and going on these like metal spinny things all the time actually knock you unconscious? I think we need science to figure this out. Again! Cab, push jump! What are you doing? This is how you lose world records, everybody. Don't do it. Don't be like MrCab. Be good at video games. Okay. Okay. Let's just go for it and see what happens. We're wasting too much time. Yeah, Pixar sued, so we can't make any more Uniracers, which is weird. The cart, last I checked, the cart is not that expensive, so you can get a hold of this game pretty easily. Obviously, people have other ways of getting the games, but yeah, the cart's available. I've been able to like find copies of the game that actually come with the instruction manual too. I am sorry, this course and I are not getting along today, and this just happens. I might have to do the next course first, just like clear my mind at this rate. Although pretty soon we're going to also get into the invalid run, but the marathon must go on department. Because, let's face it, I could just play the rest of the game. Hey, what is this? My apologies, everybody. That was poor form on my part. Having to play this track like 5 times to get that one jump. Of course, after all that practice, I got a good time on it. So this is high road. We want to take the high jump road. You want to be like all glib and nope. Oh, we got it. So all glib early in the running of this game got really good at making that jump, and we decided that making that jump was called a glib. And if you can make that jump all 5 times, which I just didn't do, it's the super glib. So apologies on no super glib today. If you remember Wario Paint and your ability to kind of move to the side in midair, which I guess that stunt course was trying to remind you of, you can escape the pit relatively easily, and that's too early. Second lap, that was kind of cool because I went straight down, and like momentum in this game in jumps is weird, and I don't fully understand it. I know you can kind of do like a delayed jump off that ramp, and that's part of the secret to making it. That's too early again. Fortunately, the computer is even worse than the humans at making that jump. So generally, when you see yourself like 6 seconds ahead, it's because the computer is failing that jump. Let's go, because I'm not hearing that wipeout sound behind me. 1 second. That's a really good time for the computer, actually. Hey. I goofed up enough to win. Single glib. It wasn't very good. Shouts to SM Dub. Runner, I think, of the original 8, I feel like people agree this is the hardest set of courses against a normal unicycle. Fortunately, I did promise we would see more lap manipulation shenanigans later in the game, and back left for some reason. This course is just ridiculously long for no good reason other than the game expects you to do poorly early on and need to somehow catch up. So we hit the yellow track here, and I think we got a loop in the middle of it for some reason. I might be thinking of the next Cup's first course too, that just gets a really, really long ending. So, high road, you have a chance to get 6 glibs on this one's the proper high road. Let's not. 0 glibs. In practice here, for some reason, the computer was actually really good, and I was actually losing at the end of the second lap, and I was like very scared that maybe I'd forgotten some key mechanic of the game. No, the computer's just weird. Every time you hear that wipeout sound, the computer's doing something wrong, and that's good. Unless you're the one who wipes out, and that's bad. There we go. A little stutter step because I stopped too soon. We're good. Opponent has bad RNG. That's the name of some of these. Spine is a relatively simple stunt course. The rest of the stunt courses are actually not that bad. It's just a matter of figuring out how to not manipulate really. It's fit in your triple flips and stuff like that. And if you can do that, you're good. Oh, come on. And we did it. Oh, don't do that. Ah. If you're doing two-player and something like that happened, obviously the second player would learn about that trick very quickly. This was a split-screen game, what with being on the Super Nintendo. So you could see it. That's the boo in this course, by the way, that little fast shortcut. As far as I can tell, that's why the course is named Boo. You just kind of come out of loop and there's a shortcut. Ah! I think this course accidentally wins the prize for most practiced 5 minutes before the run. So I'm not allowed to lose this course. Fire Escape, the other control one. This is a really weird zigzaggy falling course that has a brief shortcut in it at some point, and it's a pain. Sometime around there, I know you saw that gate there, but because of the shortcut, there's another gate, and the game just kind of looks for your vertical position relative to it. And if you hit it, well, you're good. What just happened? Come on. There we go. There's like a reverse fire escape course as the last one in the game. So you'll get to kind of see it. Ow! It's back. Let's go Sprinter. Sprinter feels way too easy for this point in the game, and it might just be because, you know, everything's been going well. Like, it feels like you can fall really far behind this course and still win, just because it keeps going. You keep having room to do things. And the unicycle's looking at us too, like, really? We're just going uphill forever? Come on. What? Can't say I've seen that before. Did I just learn new tech right there? So this is like a weird stepping stone thing, and you can do like 3 flips or 3 twists, and then it goes up 1, 2, 3, I guess 4, maybe 5. The point is, like, this is like the part where the game expects you to actually come back and win this race. Which just feels weird that it exists. Sorry, my Infinite Zero. I'm trying to prove that I'm bad at video games, and here we are. Oh, we're going left. We're going left. This feels weird. Too fast. Now, this isn't the one where I get slammed up against the wall, is it? It is the one where I get slammed up against the wall. So you don't want to do too many tricks, so you don't want to go too high in the air. The speed boost you get from doing tricks while in the air there is insignificant next to the amount of time you spend in the air itself. There I go, not listening to my own advice. Now we're losing. At least, you know, at present. Hey. Oh. So, the treat we're gonna get after this, I'm gonna actually start talking about the next cup now, because, like I said earlier, I feel like this one's actually not as hard as the one before it. The next cup, we're not racing gold one anymore. We get the anti-uni. It's the one you can only get to if you've gotten all the other 8 gold medals. And the trick with the anti-uni that we're going to see is every time you touch the anti-uni after like the start of the race, I think you get like 5 seconds of it's okay, because the race needs to actually start. Something weird will happen. It's stuff that's going to like give Fred bad ideas for Zelda 1 Randomizer and Redbubble curses. It's like the screen gets flipped, controls get reversed, things go really slow. There is actually something in there called barf mode, and if you get motion sickness, you might want to look away when that happens. I need to remember to actually get like my script of tricks in here, so I'm just kind of messing around. I wish I could tell you how to actually do tabletops, because I don't know. I just know they happen. The X button is involved. So the last 2 normal tracks here. The last track here I know is the only one in the game that has the gold arrows. I have no memory of anything special with that right now. We're just going. Being sad that I didn't get the flip out of that. If you hold L or R out of the half loops to kind of spin back out, I'm sure you've noticed this by now. You can get credit for doing a little stunt. It's one of the little things you can do to kind of keep going in this game. Just make sure you stay ahead. Whoa, what just happened? I feel like this is a bad idea, but it's a good idea. One, 2, 3 jump has an awkward beginning that's actually very easy to get caught in the under track that catches you if you miss jumping over some tracks. And you just like lose all the time in the world, and you stop and restart the whole thing, which is unfortunate because this is only a 2-lap race. What just happened? Twist in there because there's just not enough time left. Whoa! If I like did not land in time there and bonked the ramp, that would have ended very poorly. We would have been restarting this race. I think we're good now to get out of Sprinter. Come on. Come on. MrCab55, come on. That's 8 golds. Last one of these. So ends Goldwyn, I guess. Hunter. Griller. Griller, I'm pretty sure, is the absolute hardest course in this entire video game. Here's the anti-unit. You just kind of get this like corrupted radioactive red color scheme to him. Don't get touched by the Unity. Oh. Slow motion. It saved me though, because I knew I was able to get that as a result. That's kind of neat. Imagine getting help from the anti-uni in 2019. Don't bounce. The big thing that can go wrong in this is you bounce and land on one of the metal spin things. So we're going to get touched by the anti-uni here. It's going to be unfortunate. Hedgehog speed. Get it? Get it? Shouts to blast processing. Some wobble mode for you. Oh, did we just lose on that? We probably did. I think it's over. Alright, if this one goes wrong a couple of times, I will skip it and come back if we have some time left. I've got a little more time left in the estimate, because honestly, this course is the reason for the estimate. Yeah, controller reversed is just no. It is the absolute worst part of this video game. Because you're going fast, and suddenly you are going the opposite of fast. Come on, yeah, you saw a little bit of the bounce back there. How far back are we? Let's see if we have to quit this one eventually too. We'll come back to Griller. Griller is just that course. Two loops. Conveniently has two loops. The lap courses especially, the anti-uni tends to let you get through the first lap okay, but not always. This is one of the harder loops to actually jump through in the game, but it can be done, and when you do, it's really good, because then the anti-uni is that much further behind you. Don't do that. Go away, Antine. Here comes barf mode. Barf mode is at least nice in that if you're not getting motion sickness from it, it doesn't really do anything. Invisible track is kind of weird. The shorter the track, the less bad invisible track actually is. Because obviously it's short, you know what it is, it's memorized already. For those wondering, you don't have to, for the leaderboard categories, complete the courses in any specific order. You do have to get the medals, so once you're in a cup, you should clear that cup. But I've seen a lot of 4 bronze runs that start on basically the hardest course, and if it goes bad, they just stop. Thus, it's a classic, you route the harder things in first, that's fine. Neon is kind of neat. I think it's basically the same setup as Spine, except Neon. Don't do that. Ha! Double flip. here, let the timer run out. My apologies for barf mode, but I will at least say I warned you. That's easily the worst part of the game if motion sickness is a thing that affects you. At this point, I feel like it kind of rolls off my eyes, but oh my goodness, it's still weird. And it's still distracting more than anything. Wobble. Power bounce is the one we haven't seen yet. Which is mostly bad because you land from whatever it is you were doing, and then you start bouncing onto the metal spires. And that's where you lose all your time. I'm really glad I accidentally hit this shortcut. Screen flip. Okay. It's only a vertical flip, but still. To and fro is the reverse fire escape. There's a possible jump here. Don't ask me how you make that. I have made it. Ah! It's actually really easy to miss a jump in there for no reason. Like, the arrows don't actually give you enough speed to guarantee to make it every time. And it's really frustrating when that happens. Alright, we should be good here, which will leave Griller. How much time do we have? Are the mods here? Somebody has to tell me when it's time to mercy kill this run, because literally this is it. I'm just gonna be doing this until we clear it. Shoutouts to RGL for actually putting on this event. Shoutouts to tech behind the scenes here. I noticed there was an entire crew of people making sure that we had everything set up ready to go on the stream. Shoutouts to all the runners here, and shoutouts to just retro games in general. Shoutouts to shoutouts. And everybody who's out there in chat. I see a lot of familiar faces out there. Thanks everybody who came out to support. Ugh. I think break is twist now. How far behind am I? That one's gonna make it bad. But yeah, honestly, if you could do Griller first, that would make this is the stopper of the entire run. This game is damn neat. Go and play it. You'll have fun. Like, I saw people in chat saying it, and believe me, I think it a lot too. Right? This game is just go play the video game. Right? If you can play the video game, you'll be fine. No real tricks to it. But it is surprisingly addicting. That has been like the one thing. Once you start playing this game, you get it. Yeah, and like you said, the music is good, so you'll always be entertained. Anti-Uni got stuck there. Come on. We have a second. Not sure how that happened. Come on. Oh my goodness. What happened to my second? That was the wrong time to do it. Bark mode. Hey! We did it! So because we did it, we do get to see the ending. Like, it's not really an ending, it's more of a credits roll with some newspaper. It's amazing. New Uni wins despite dirty tactics. I want to know about this alien found in the bath on the right side. I'm not sure why we arrested the anti-Uni, but I'm apparently releasing a single now. I'm not sure what happens here. The national gossip is only 10 cents because this was the 90s. Those are 1990s 10 cents. They were worth something, but you can also play Ye Olde Bingo, and we are now Speed Kings because the video game said so. One more horrifying visage for you before I say goodbye here and leave you to the good people at RGL. I don't know what this screen is. These people made this game, I guess, and I hope they are not actually fried turkeys on unicycles. That's all I've got. Thanks for having me. Have a good night, everybody.